Representing the Armenian Missionary Association of America, I'm pleased to welcome Zaven Khanjian, who was born and raised in Aleppo, Syria, and graduated from both Aleppo College and the American University of Beirut. He currently serves as the Executive Director and the CEO of the AMAA. Please join me in welcoming to the podium. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, fellow Armenians. One hamper, herun agnabish, videspasen vartaheger kalustin, arshaluisi, marshaluisi mevorun, havadatsek ins mairer, yes, votnatsayne garnem. How I wish I could stand before you this afternoon and share the joyful news of the arrival of the Crimson Dawn, as sung by the literary genius Daniel Varoujan, silenced by the evil hands at the turn of the last century. Alas, the Crimson Dawn, the footsteps of which Varoujan assured the mothers of our innocent victims to have heard, still lies in the future. For 50 years after the genocide, we struggled to stand up, recover and heal our physical wounds. A generation of orphans lost their precious childhood for another generation to enjoy. And by the grace of God, thanks to God-loving and God-fearing people around the world, we rose back from the ashes and survived. 1965 brought us an awakening that burst into the open both in the homeland and all around the diaspora. Having survived, we took the road to quest for justice and collectively did a fairly good job. By the centennial of the genocide, we confidently claimed a degree of reward and victory, raising our national struggle to an unprecedented plateau of universal awareness, respect, and recognition, worthy of the cause and powerful in its impact. I indeed realized that it is absurd to compare human pain and suffering. But the fact is that the crime committed against my people a century ago not only resulted in the murder of a nation, but in the uprooting of an indigenous race peacefully toiling in the lands they called home for many millennia. This fact should not fall victim to absurdity and should never be forgotten. It deepens the pain and raises the magnitude of the crime, reminding us of the prophet Elijah, who took the Lord's message to King Ahab, saying, "Wasn't it enough that you killed Naboth? Must you rob him too? Mersusir ugesharankes." Lives are precious and can never be brought back. But there is also a wealth of tangible and intangible loot that needs to be recovered and a crime that needs to be brought to justice. Despite of our many achievements, we have not gained much on the road of reparations, restitution, and recognition from the heirs of the perpetrators. All recognition, sympathy, and acknowledgement in the civilized world have come with impunity and with no legal muscle. Like all the 8 statements issued by President Obama on the Armenian Genocide. And the perpetrators themselves are in a coma of self-denial. Adding insult to injury, the same civilized world, with total acquiescence, turns a blind eye to the continuing crime committed by the same perpetrator in Syria today, or by a cousin in Nagorno-Karabakh, where as a nation we shall spare no sacrifice to defend the homeland. We can only depend on ourselves and on our selfless and sacrificial devotion and commitment to an iron ladle. I have an unwavering confidence in a new generation, a miracle generation, regiments of professionals excelling in the arts and sciences, education and business, journalism and public service, literature and technology, and that is the way to go. God incarnate advocated for the poor and the oppressed, challenged unjust behavior and confronted arrogance, promoted justice and condemned bigotry. Jesus Christ lashed out at the self-promoters at the temple. We will trust the Lord and struggle for justice all alone, today, tomorrow, for 50 years, or 100 if need be. We will acquire the iron ladle in our pursuit for justice, and together with immortal Daniel Varujan, impatiently and attentively staring afar, will await the arrival of the Crimson Dawn, a dawn, the footsteps of which, believe me, all who can hear me today, I do hear. Thank you.